Okay, so last example that we're going to do is when you're trying to write an equation, quadratic form, so it's going to have 2 as a little exponent, okay? You're trying to write an equation, quadratic equation, given the vertex, so they are going to give you the actual point for your vertex and a point on the curve, okay? So the last example we did, the last example we did had the picture for me, so I could locate the vertex and a point, and I can also see how it moved, right? So I can check my equation and see if it fit, right? Well, now we don't have a picture. If I can erase it. Okay, now we don't have a picture, we are just given this information. We're given the vertex is this, and I have a point from my curve that I can use. Okay, so remember, easiest form to write an equation for is vertex form because it gives us the vertex. Okay, so I'm going to just write that first. Y equals ax minus h squared, because it's quadratic, plus my k. So using my vertex, which is 2, -3, remember that's my h and my k. We do opposite inside of parentheses, so when I'm plugging into my equation, I'm going to do x opposite of my h, -2 squared, and then I use my k, whatever it is that's given to me, so -3. Okay, so now we have to solve for a. My classes, we have not solved for a yet. Just on the previous video, right, the example that I did with you, I showed you how to solve for a. So this is the step that we're on now. We are solving for a so we can get the final equation with a as part of it now. Okay? So we have to use the point that they give us. From a point, we know that this is my x value and this is my y value. That's what I mean by use what you know and go from there. Okay? I know that my y is -5, so that's what I'm going to plug in for my y value. I don't know my a yet, so I'm going to keep it as an a. I know my x was 1, so I'm going to say 1, bring everything else down, -2 squared, -3. And now I just have to simplify, because if I don't know what the a is, I have to solve for it. So I'm going to start solving, simplifying, and get what a is equal to. Okay, so inside parentheses, I'm going to do that first. I get a -1, so everything stays the same. Say -1 squared minus 3. -1 squared is -1 times -1, so that's just going to become a 1. So really, a times 1 just is a, right? So then I'm going to say -5 is equal to a minus 3. Remember, in order to move it to the other side of that equal sign, I've got to do opposite. So I should be adding 3 to both sides. It cancels over here on this side, so I'm left with -5 plus 3. I'm going to write it over here on the side, so I'm going to get a -2 is equal to my a value. So now I know what my a is. I know what my h and my k are, so now I can write my final version of the vertex form. So y equals -2 x minus 2 squared minus 3. Final answer. And we're done.